welcome to Captain Obvious Discusses here on YouTube. Today we are taking a deeper dive into the new World of Warcraft expansion, DragonFlight. It was announced yesterday, 4/19, around noontime Eastern, and I'm very excited to take a peek into this. I initially did do a reaction video that I then, after the fact, realized was not recording the entire time, so that was disheartening. However, I do want to take a little bit of a deeper dive and a closer look at some of the content and really just a general overlay and discussion of what I'm looking forward to, the changes that are coming, and what I think is important for Blizzard and this next chapter of World of Warcraft. With that being said though, before we jump in, if you want to hit that subscribe button and you want to subscribe to this channel, that support is very much appreciated. But also we are found on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and of course Twitch, where we are at twitch.tv/CaptainObviousGaming, and we stream there live multiple days a week. Without further ado, let's jump in. Of course, things did start off with a beautiful cinematic regarding the announcement. We were taken to the Dragon Isles 10,000 years ago, before they were shrouded and encased from the rest of the world. It was beautiful to see that story unfold. I guess there was some reason to close it off, whether it be for threats or whatnot from the rest of the world. And we saw that giant cog turn in the sky, and the clouds overfill, and before we knew it, the Dragon Isles were veiled over. We have not known of these. We've heard of whispers of them. We've known of characters who are trying to find them within the game, but in all reality, we just thought it was a myth, or they weren't even in existence any longer. This cinematic proved otherwise. We then fast forward to current time, and we see a large stone titan awake from the slumber 10,000 years later to once again climb the tower and activated that device to in turn reveal the Dragon Isles. And in this cinematic, we got to see the first dragons return, fill the skies, and what a beautiful land we're going to be adventuring into this time. And this cinematic just knocked it out of the park for me from the get-go. I mean, there was a lot I wanted to hear, but when you get a beautiful cinematic and Blizzard never fails to deliver, it definitely gets you excited. Now, after the cinematic and with the announcement of DragonFlight, we were confirmed that yes, we're going to the Dragon Isles. It's going to be a standard new zone with 5 areas to discover, quest in, and level up in. 4 general leveling zones, and then of course your 5th zone for endgame and dailies and whatnot. Who knows, really? But the big important announcement here was, of course, everybody want to know, is there a new class? Is there a new race? What are we getting with this? What's the new content coming? And we get both. Crazy enough, we get the Drakthir class, or Drakthir race rather. It is a dragon humanoid race that can harness the powers of the dragons, right? All 5 elements coming together. And using this power, the developers knew we couldn't just assign a standard class to the Drakthir. We can't make them paladins. We can't make them warlocks. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't fit the mold. So in turn, we actually get a new class as well. And it's a class that's only assigned to the Drakthir. And that's going to be the Evoker. And the Evoker, it looks like they can channel their dragon abilities into 2 types of roles as far as raiding and dungeoning assignments go, that being a DPS and damage role, and also a healing role. So very exciting. And of course, the announcement that they're going to use mail armor, not leather, which I think is a huge sigh of relief for a lot of people, is massive. And whenever you introduce a new race, a new class, it definitely resets the scale for the entire game and the other classes that are in the game. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen across the board once DragonFlight arrives, along with the Drakthir race, and the evoker class. Now, of course, you think large open lands, you see dragons, and your mind wants to go to riding a dragon. And that is something you can now do or will be able to do in DragonFlight. You'll be able to become a dragon rider, which comes with a massive drake that can be completely customized by you. You also learn special moves. You can gain momentum to hit certain speed thresholds and velocity thresholds. And this is going to add a whole new style and element to flying in World of Warcraft. Now, it's unknown if this is something that's just locked to the Dragon Isles, or once you have your Drake, you're going to be able to fly through all of Azeroth utilizing these skills. But two important things here: the ability to upgrade your Drake and learn new skills as time goes on, but also customizing your Drake and making it you. That is huge. I think that's going to be a hit with the community. As fun as it is to look at all the new stuff that's coming to World of Warcraft, I think Blizzard knows that the community also focuses on what's being left behind a lot, and that is frustrating. And they notated that at the roundtable, which was nice. They realize that a lot of times a new expansion comes out and everything we just grinded for the last 1.5, 2 years is now gone. It was pointless. There was no need to grind it because now there's new systems in place, new content, new thresholds that need to be hit. And that's frustrating sometimes as a gamer. And Blizzard realizes that. And I do have to say they've been listening to their community a little bit more lately. So with that all being said, they have introduced and integrated a new talent system that'll be coming with the DragonFlight expansion. The new talent system that takes us back to trees and skills that we can unlock through the trees. And this is something that WoW had early on that really allowed your character to feel like you. You could go off on a completely different build or objectives as far as your class goes, completely different than that of your friend who might be running the exact same class as you. And that was important. When Mists of Pandaria came out, they simplified this system and they made it like a pick one of three situation. And I think that really turned off a lot of people. People wanted the ability to clearly make their character their own. And not just that, but this allows you to change things as time goes on. New content comes out, reassign these skills. Instead of just feeling like it's a fresh start every single time, it's more so, okay, this is what I did previously, and this is how I can adapt for the new content. On top of that was, of course, updating the professions and crafting and that element within World of Warcraft. I think that's important. It does feel outdated at times. It almost feels pointless sometimes. I for one have never been one that puts a lot of time in my professions. But with the new professions that are coming, the refreshed professions, you can now hunt down rare ingredients. There's now quality rather, similar to Lost Ark, you could say, to the items that you're crafting. So higher quality, higher item level, they said, or higher stats, which is amazing. You can put in order requests. Let's say I want a certain piece of gear, but my skill in blacksmithing, per se, is not high enough to make that gear. I can put in a request for that gear. I can even put in some of the materials needed for that gear. And somebody could then fulfill that order, get paid gold, and then I get that piece of gear, that item, that weapon, whatever it is I'm looking for. And this adds another element to the game outside of just grinding the auction house and looking for stuff, and allows people to just focus on professions. Focus on your professions and potentially even make money off of your professions in game. And professions also come with exclusive gear, as far as like miners have like a mining set that they can wear. It looks like we saw gem crafters. It looks like it's been overhauled, and I think that is overdue. So very exciting. And then of course, lastly, but not the least, is a new HUD interface. Now, most people are probably using add-ons to get the HUD that they want, to get the HUD that they desire, and simplify their layout a little bit. And I do think that a lot of people focus on that, especially raiders. There's special add-ons and stuff that they utilize to get the best optimization out of their experience and their heads-up display. However, I do have to say WoW has been stuck in the past. They've had the same HUD for almost their entirety of existence. And that's frustrating to players. We want to be able to move stuff around, customize it, simplify things sometimes, and reduce the clutter. And now we can pick where we want our mini map, where our bars are going to be, our skills, where they're going to line up, how big they're going to be. And that is a huge step forward as far as just waking up this game and really bringing it into an era where there is a plethora of MMOs out there. And with all that being said, that was pretty much the big stuff that was announced. Of course, we do need to give an honorable mention to Wrath of the Lich King Classic, which will be coming this year. And I know that a lot of people have been into the classic market since that has come out. Nothing I've dabbled in myself very much, to be honest with you, but I know Wrath was one of their bigger expansions, bigger content that came out, and a lot of people were excited back in the day. And it just makes sense, right? You've got dragons from DragonFlight. You're now releasing Wrath, which comes with the dragons as well, and the Lich King and all that. So very cool, and honestly, very tempting. I think a nice restart, refresh in that world in Northrend sounds exciting for me as well. But outside of that, back to DragonFlight, I think this is something that WoW needed. They need to show us more, right? We have other games out there. We have the New Worlds, the Lost Arks, the Guild Wars, Christ, RuneScape. I mean, there's a lot to choose from right now. And in this day and age, there is a buffet of MMOs, right? And we can pick and choose what we want and what we're going to accept. I think there are a lot of much needed changes. The customizations for your character, your Drakthir, and your mounts is very cool. And the new professions, professions, new skill tree and talent tree, that's huge. I mean, these are big things, and Blizzard is listening to the community. So if you have issues, speak up. I mean, they're listening. You need to be louder, right? And I think this is big. They're setting up for something bigger, I feel. This is their 18 years of WoW. This November, 18 years, it looks like. So you know that come 2024, that 20th year, we're probably going to get a huge expansion. But this is large. This is significant and exciting to say the least. Now, as far as the release date goes, they didn't say anything. We know that Wrath of the Lich King is coming out in 2022, so probably late 2022. We don't know how far along they are or prepared they are to start dropping that. If I had to guess, DragonFlight could come out anywhere from as early as September to as late as January or February of 2023. It's kind of like in that early stage right now where they're doing an alpha, but they are accepting beta invites and requests, so you can sign up for that if you'd like. But based upon the usual timelines, once beta rolls out, you could be looking anywhere at 2 to 5 months after. So we'll have to just wait and see. We know there's going to be more announcements to come, probably more content to show. We didn't have BlizzCon this year, so it's still nice that we're able to see what Blizzard's doing in the back end, especially with what happened with Microsoft. It's exciting. It's worth getting excited for, and I am very pumped to see what's coming and just ready to get my hands on a dragon and fly it around. But that's a wrap here at Captain Obvious Gaming on our YouTube. We wanted to discuss this. Initially, again, it was going to be a reactions video, but a snafu prevented that from occurring. So here we are with our general discussion on this. I'm going to obviously do a deeper dive, I think, on my stream this week, whether that be Friday or Saturday. And obviously I'll announce that on social media, but as to what my thoughts are, and maybe breaking things down clip by clip and doing one of those things live on my Twitch. But until then, you can always find content here on YouTube. You can go to Twitch to watch our past streams. Of course, updates are on Twitter and Facebook. We have shenanigans going on our TikTok sometimes. You can find us everywhere. All of our links are in our description below. You'll also find a link to this reveal down below. This WoW announcement is down there, along with the deep dive link where they kind of pull back even more and show us a little bit more than what we got at the round table initially. But if you like what you saw here, if you want to support the channel, of course, subscribing is the way to do it, and appreciate it as always. Without further ado, take care and see you in Azeroth, everyone.